Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It is Thursday. If I was stuck in traffic any longer, it'd be Friday. February the 16th, 2023. It's another Technical Alpha podcast. Glad you could make it today. If you're here live or RSS feeds or anywhere, really. Bless you. Welcome to another show. I keep forgetting, because I never leave the house anymore, Jeff. I'm sure you can tell by the gray tone in my skin that this city has grown substantially in the last few years. And so when I leave the house and I set an amount of time to go anywhere at certain times in the day, my brain is still in like 2015. Like, you know, what was traffic like at X hour going where I'm going in 2015? That's where my brain is still currently residing. And then when I go out, and I'm like, oh, I got friend's birthday. She just got back here the other, like, not even 2 nights ago. And she's like, oh, it's Rox's birthday. It's her best friend. We're just doing a little birthday thing and going to that. Okay, great. She's like running around the house trying to find her clothes because all of her clothes are packed away, and you know women. So at first she was almost not going to go because she couldn't find a pair of pants that she wanted to wear. And she eventually finds that pair of pants. It's like, you know, buried in all the other stuff that we're moving to the house eventually. And she's like, okay, fine, I'll go. And so she gets her pants back, you know, she's got her pants, she's gonna go again. You get ready and we leave the house, and I'm looking at the clock going, okay, I'll tell Jeff I'm gonna be about 15 minutes late because it's gonna take me X amount of time to get there, get back again. Hell no! Not even close. Not even fucking close. We didn't even get to Spryfield. The shit was already real. And I was like, oh, god damn, it's not, there's too many people here now. It's a different world. It's a different time. I need to start tacking on like an extra 20 minutes everywhere I want to go with how many extra cars are on the road around here these days. Nevertheless, we are here. It's no Tech Help podcast. Great news is it's not a particularly long one. Well, maybe that's bad news for those who are also going to be stuck in traffic on Friday when many of you are listening to this going to work. But not a hell of a lot happened in the last week, but we're going to cover it anyway, as we always do. But before we do, most important question of the week, as Mr. Black tries to keep himself awake. Mr. Black, bro, I'm gonna keep it 100. Last week, dead, you were the most human last week of the last like 9 months. I don't know what it was last week. I don't know if you were on cocaine or something was really keeping you up. You were great mood, energetic. It's all there. I'm looking at you this week. You look like you just got ran through a fucking the ringer, bro.
I'm tired, bro. I got a coffee here. I'm like. I was low-key hoping that you'd be like, bro, I'm not going to make it home.
It's okay.
I was just sitting here. I was sitting in bed. I was like, fuck, man, this motherfucker. I was like, I just hope to God he tells me that he ain't showing up for this podcast. I'm just getting on my PJs and lay in bed. But no, that wasn't it. So here I am with the coffee.
It's okay. It's okay. It's all right. We'll try and make sure that you don't have to suffer too much.
I'll wake
up. How was your week?
It's another week. Same week. Same
Fantastic.
Different day. Yeah.
Incredible. Yeah, more or less. Well, it wasn't like the same. I mean, we did, M is now back from her second stint being out west. Thankfully, the flights, despite the fact that the agency gave her a flight path with 410 fucking layovers, she managed to get home in one piece without any delays and with her luggage.
Wow.
Christmas miracle.
Wow, buy a lottery ticket.
Yes,
now.
Exactly. That's what I said. I said, holy shit, that was the most incredible luck we've ever had. So, like, they lost her luggage on a direct flight, but somehow not with, like, 3 layovers. Don't ask me how airports work or how airlines work, but nevertheless, we're happy to have her home, and she's all excited. She got to see the house now that it's basically done. She's all fucking, Again, women, she's all excited. The first thing she's thinking of is how do we organize the house and how do we decorate this and what are we going to do with that and this is where I'm going to put this and that and everything. So she's running all over the place, all excited. So, the important thing is the boss is happy. So that's good. We got that going, and we'll have some time to start moving some things. Massive W. Almost as massive as her getting home with like 5 layovers with no luggage lost. Massive W yesterday. So when we finished the kitchen, IKEA kitchen, we're not bougie. We're building IKEA out here. So when we built the kitchen out, we discovered in the process of building the kitchen out that they had given us and charged us at the same time, it was not free, a whole spare. I think I mentioned this months ago. An entire extra cabinet, 15-inch cabinet with drawers and doors and hinges, the whole 9 yards, like a complete unit. And of course, we looked at the list, the master list, and sure as shit, they had an extra one there. But the layout for the kitchen that you put together when you're at IKEA before you put the order in did not have this extra cabinet. And my thought was that we had made one cabinet change when we were there, and she probably didn't take the old cabinet off the list when she put the new cabinet in, because it was an 18-inch being swapped for a 15-inch. And so we had this spare 15-inch cabinet and all the extra shit that comes with it. So I piled that in, and I took it to IKEA. I got to give IKEA props, bro. 365-day return window. Just mammoth return window. And we're not talking for store credit. I walked in there. I didn't even have a receipt, bro. Zero receipt. I walked in. She said, "Don't worry about it." Like on the boxes, because it has to still be in the original boxes, right? We never opened it because we never had to use them. There's like there's the product, like the order number and all the shit's on stickers that they put on every fucking box. And she said, "That's your proof of purchase. Don't worry about it." I said, "Word?" She said, "Yeah, 1 second." She ran all this shit through. Bro, I got $645 back on my card for something I bought in a different calendar year.
The dream.
And then I immediately spent it because I wanted to go buy rugs. So we went and I got all excited, and then she was like, "Rugs!" And I said, "Fuck!" And so we went and bought rugs.
Rugs ain't cheap.
But hey, we got 2 rugs, one for the living room and one for her office for like $500 and something bucks. It was fucking incredible.
That's pretty good.
It's really good. So I was very happy with that. So we're still $100+ to the good. Shout outs to IKEA for that shit. I wish all stores were that lenient, but that's probably asking too much. Nevertheless, very good W on that one. And then otherwise, yeah, that's pretty much it. We're in the official cleaning out the house and moving stuff over phase, and that will happen in waves, of course, as we get things going. But weather today.
Take advantage of this weather, bro. Come on, man. It's fucking 14 degrees outside today.
14. I was leaving the house, take Em to her friend's birthday party, and Dad's got Dad's in the bathroom down here with a bucket in the bathtub filling up. I said, "What are you doing?" He said, "I'm washing the car. It's 15 degrees outside." I said, 15 degrees? Well, dude, it was just a snowstorm friggin' 48 hours ago. What are you talking about? I walked outside, I had the sweater on, instant sweat. I was like, oh, fuck. Summer out here. It's crazy. Crazy. Yeah, the weather is just nuts, but it's a beautiful day outside. So if we're lucky, after the podcast, it's still relatively warm. Still snow out there. But we can navigate it, maybe take some stuff over and get that going. Nevertheless, we got some stuff to talk about. It's not a huge list this week, but we can talk about the things that we did spot on the interwebs, and then lots of fine folks sent us some things this week. As always, thank you to those who keep that going. Makes my life a little bit easier. I don't have to do as much Google foo each and every week. First up. Not that we don't really have an update per se with the Microsoft Activision Blizzard deal this week, but there's a small one of sorts. Well, there's 2 small ones. One is Microsoft admitted in the filings that they had to provide for this whole process that indeed Game Pass, we already kind of could have figured this out, but Game Pass does indeed eat into game sales of the games that are on Game Pass. It's a big shocker, I know, but this is the first that they've had to say, or they have said publicly, yes, definitively, it eats into the game sales, which is likely why. And I double checked this because I was like, because I haven't looked at sales charts for a really long time. But it's true. Microsoft have had a number of really big games that have been on Game Pass. But if you look at the top, the sales charts for volume sold or revenue, Microsoft's been absent off the top 10 list for a long time. And if you look at it, it correlates pretty much bang on with the release of Game Pass. And so it's, they are doing very well because it's accomplishing their goal. Clearly, people are using Game Pass heavily enough to impact their sales. And so if their goal is to get everyone on Game Pass, so far, so good. But yeah, they admitted that it does in fact remove some of their sales in some way, shape, or form. The other thing that we know, it's not in the notes here, but that I noted this week is, it just came to my mind as I'm sitting here talking that out, was that Microsoft has asked Sony, or asked that, not that they asked Sony specifically, but for this whole process, asked that if Sony is going to be so demanding of this not going through, and with the metrics that Sony are using to request that it doesn't go through, Microsoft said, fine, but you need to show your work, basically. It's like a teacher in the classroom. You can't just tell me that this is the answer. Now you need to show me why. And in order to do that, you need to show your numbers to prove that we're actually impacting you. You can't just walk into the room to a regulator and say, hey, we don't want this to go through because it's fucking us up. And then not show the regulator how it's actually fucking you up, is what Microsoft is positive, which is kind of fair ball, really. I mean, like, regardless of what side of this that you're on, it does stand to reason that if a company like Sony walks into a regulator's office and says, hey, don't let this go through, it's fucking our shit up, you'd think, instinctually, the regulator would go, okay, how? And then show us. Don't just say these things out loud, maybe actually show. So Microsoft's been laying all this stuff out on their side, because clearly they have to. But Sony to this point hasn't. And it's largely because it's thought that if Sony actually does show their numbers for SIE or any of their other branches, showing that the impact on this would not be nearly as large as Sony has been purporting it to be, then obviously that's going to make it very difficult for Sony to have a leg to stand on. And so they're really pushing for that to happen. It just hasn't happened in its totality yet. And so we'll wait to see if Sony actually ends up caving or just dropping it all together and saying, fuck it. Fine. Do it. Fucking let them buy it. We'll find out how that happens eventually. But it's true. That's kind of silly that how a regulator could take that in as a thing and be like, all right, well, the primary competitor is Sony, they're telling us this, but we haven't asked them to provide any numbers or any proof whatsoever that this is actually happening. All of the onus somehow fell on Microsoft to prove Sony's side, which does not make any fucking sense whatsoever. So hopefully that does, in fact, happen. Mr. Black, it's finally here. I know, no segue to that whatsoever, but the only other person I can think of that we were most interested in what happens to X company when Y person leaves was what's her face from Star Wars,
Kathleen Kennedy.
Kathleen Kennedy. So we already got that ball rolling. We were excited about that one because we're pretty sure that there's an almost 0% chance that whoever replaces her is going to be worse. That would be a very low bar to be able to crawl underneath them. But nevertheless, the only other person that we've talked about over time that we were very interested in how things would go should they leave the company, it's finally happened. Susan from YouTube has announced today that after 9 years as CEO of YouTube and 25 years working at Google in total, she is stepping back to work on family and other projects and other things and whatnot. And after 25 years at Google, you could probably afford to do that. So, let alone 9 years as YouTube CEO. Probably made a few dollars, but had to take a shot in the dark. She could have retired a long time ago. Now she's off to do whatever she wants to fucking do. However, this does seem a little out of fucking nowhere. They didn't bury it on a Friday or some shit for the news release, but like it did seem a little random. I didn't expect to like wake up, turn on my phone, and be like, "Oh, Susan's leaving YouTube on a Thursday." It was a little bit of a surprise, but at the same time, there's not been like enormous amount of scandal around YouTube as of late, so maybe it is just innocuous and she's just leaving to go do something else. Either way. My question, of course, and lots of other people's questions, I'm sure, will be who the fuck is going to replace Susan as the CEO over at YouTube? I don't even have a list of people. I don't even know who they have in like the succession line for this job. But in general, I do have a question for this. Knowing the tumultuous life of pretty much every creator platform, whether it's just a social media platform like Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, YouTube, Twitch, how all of these companies have been faring in the last, since we've been in the game. She's been there for 9 years, so she was almost there the entire time we were predominantly on YouTube doing our thing. Do you think that she did that she seemingly led the company well, as good, better, or worse than the other platforms that we've, our career has been built upon, that we've interacted with over that, let's call it a decade for the ease of math, that we've done. How do you think that her tenure falls amongst all of the other platforms that we've been on?
I think she did fine. I mean, I'm sure there were probably things that were out of her control. Even though she is CEO, there's probably some decisions that were made in reaction to where sort of where things were going legally with copyright and all this other stuff. Like, there's just probably things out of her control that, you know, she had to make tough decisions, or the board had to make tough decisions. It wasn't a perfect ride, never is, but I honestly think YouTube is, at least in the last 3 years, 4 years, has probably done the best out of all the platforms. Out of Twitch, Facebook, you know, obviously, you know, Mixer and whatever other, you know, things that came out. And I'm just saying that from like a content creator standpoint. They seem to now have been implementing a lot of the things that Twitch had. Now it's gone to YouTube, which is evening the playing field a little bit. Obviously, from a live streaming standpoint, they're still not where Twitch is. I don't think they ever will be, to be frank.
Do you think that's even their goal, or do you think they're just attacking it differently? I think they're
I just think I think they know the role. I think they know that they're the VOD king, and Twitch is the streaming king, and they're just they provide the service if you want to use it, and it's definitely gotten better. They're listening, but like, it's very clear it's not their main focus by any stretch of the imagination. Even a lot of the streamers that they're signing are primarily YouTubers, you know, with huge followings that they can implement very quickly and just keep them on the platform. You know, it's kind of like, I think YouTube is basically the Nintendo of the console wars. And, you know, you've got like Facebook. It's really just Facebook, and they got like kick.com now. And
I'm going to put "we have" in quotation marks.
Yeah. I mean, you've got basically Stakes, like gambling website for streamers.
Yeah.
So, you know, YouTube is basically, I look at them as the Nintendo, and then, you know, Twitch
everyone
is
else
basically, you know, Sony, and, you know, you've got Facebook, which is Microsoft, I guess. Even though I don't even think they're that good. So, I don't even know. I'm making a bold statement. I actually don't even think Facebook gaming is going to be a thing in 3 years.
I would agree. I don't even know. I don't know if I consider that bold. I'm actually surprised it's still going right now. Like, if I'm going to be honest.
I mean, I low key wish I took the bag. And just, you know, I fucked
because
up
you figured it. Like, do you figure it would have ended? I am so salty right now. Apropos of nothing, Jeff's watched me try to do this now. This fucking straw has now frozen solid.
Straws, bro.
And now straws. I can't blow it out. I'll fucking literally, like, my eyeballs will come up my sock. Now I just got all this ice cap. I don't want to drink out the cup. I don't trust where this cup's been. I don't know. The drink is in the cup, but you know what I mean. The outside is like
It's time to give up on the drink, bro. It's just time to give up on the drink.
Fuck. In this economy. It's true.
It's over.
It's true. But no, I agree. I'm actually surprised Facebook is still around for that, to be honest. I
just think they've got the money, so they're just doing it, but it's very clear they're in no, like, pretty much every Facebook gaming streamer that I know have either come back to Twitch or are just waiting for their contract to be up to come back to Twitch. So, you know,
do you think some of them took the bag thinking it was going to be another Mixer situation where they'd only have to be in the contract
I don't think so. I don't think so. I think with Facebook, I mean, even when I was in talks with them, they had like a pretty big plan. Like, obviously they pitched me like their direction and the things that they're going to be bringing to the platform and where they see themselves, and it actually sounded pretty good. And I'm kind of like kicking myself a little bit for not taking it. Because like I would have made a lot more money. And then I probably would have retired if the contract, like if they were like, yeah, sorry, we're not renewing your contract, or or we're gonna offer you 50% less. I might have taken the 50% less and then just like did minimal effort and fucked off in the sunset.
Yeah.
Depending on judging from where Facebook gaming is now. Obviously, if Facebook gaming kind of went and
different
really,
animal.
really grew, different animal, right? Then I just go along with it. But it doesn't seem like it's done this. It's like doing this.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I could be talking out of my ass, and maybe they have like something I don't know about, and next thing you know, it they like actually release like a legit streaming website and stuff. But I think we got 3 years.
Yeah.
And then the Facebook live streaming side of things gone.
Yeah.
That's my hot take. 2026. It's over.
Yeah, I could agree with that. And as far as YouTube is concerned, I also agree with what you said. I think for all the stupid shit that's happened at YouTube, despite all of that, and maybe it's just because of their size, it's just been stable. So, there's been a lot of creators, we say stable, but it's stable for us, but we obviously have heard and seen many stories of people where it's not been stable, major content creators with the changes that they've made with advertising policy and other stuff of that nature has all been, has in several instances resulted in very large channels and a number of them more or less collapsing because of those changes. But in general, I think that with the size of the platform, every time you make any policy change, it's going to fuck somebody up because the platform is just so wide-reaching and there's so much different shit happening that no matter what move you make, it is going to inevitably
affect somebody.
Negatively
or
affect
a large
someone.
Group of people. Yeah.
Yeah. So. And so. Like it's a challenge. It's huge. They have the biggest target on their back still from regulatory bodies in terms of keeping them in line for copyright infringement and child issues and all that stuff. Like that's all almost entirely squarely on YouTube. Like Twitch has not had to do nearly as much. If Twitch had to do as much as YouTube, Twitch would be dead.
A lot worse. It'd be
I actually don't think it would have survived. Like if they came after Twitch the same way they came after YouTube back in like, what was it, 2012 or so, somewhere in that neck of the woods, I don't think Twitch is even here. I don't think they have the money to be able to spin that up.
Yeah,
and so,
or at least before Amazon anyway.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, it would have been a very, very different situation, to say the least. And like Amazon probably wouldn't have offered them nearly as much money because they would have known how much of a workaround they would have had to done to comply with a lot of this stuff. So, yeah, I'd say she did overall a very good job, admirable job, given the weight of it and the size of the platform and everything that was at stake. Despite not agreeing with everything that happened, clearly, a lot of the adpocalypse stuff is always going to seem very weird to me. I think the dumbest thing was the description thing, where they like literally just wholesale started deleting videos that had hashtags in the descriptions. Instead of just deleting the descriptions and then saying, "Oh, you can just re-upload the video." Yeah, yeah, no problem. And then the irony being they've brought the fucking hashtags back, and now it is a literal built-in feature of the platform, just as salt on the wound. Yeah, it's just so fucking dumb. So I mean, there is a lot of like really stupid bullshit. Now, clearly, Susan wasn't sitting there literally just the one writing all of this policy out and all these changes. But ultimately, she is the leader was the leader of the ship, so some of it falls on her. Nevertheless, whatever happens, Godspeed out there, Susan. And then whoever takes over, I'm very interested. I'm very interested when they announce it, who it's going to be, and what their first. It's almost like YouTube's big enough. It's almost like the next prime minister or the next president or whatever, and their first public speech to give like their. This is where we're going. I'm now the leader of the ship. This is where we're pointing the ship, and so I think a lot of people will be very interested in waiting to see how that all comes together. Heads up. This is a very short one, but just heads up. Just gotta let everyone know because of my love for the game. Legend of Dragoon, as well, of course, is Wild Arms 2, and I think there's a Harvest Moon in there. I've joined PlayStation Plus Premium's list. Officially, if you haven't played Legend of Dragoon, you probably should. If you're a fan of Japanese RPGs, anyway, and if you're the type that either you're of the age that you played some back in the day, and so it's not jarring for you to go back that far, if you're fucking 21 years old and you're not, like, an old soul born an old head, played, you're 21, but your primary console was an N64. Like if you're not that group, it might be a little tough to go back to Legend of Dragoon. I'm just gonna toss it out there. It's not as tough as, like, let's say Final Fantasy VIII. Final Fantasy VIII is busted as shit, but it's still gonna be a little tough to go back. That's a long way to reach back, but you should definitely give it a shot if you haven't already. I'm still holding out for a remaster or a remake at some point. Please God, make the magic happen. Well, Starfield, Mr. Black. That's a video game.
It is.
It's and some might say a pretty large video game, and it's supposed to come out in 2023 at some point. We don't really know exactly when, but it's supposed to be sometime in 2023. We had the Xbox developer direct thing a while back now, and it was known that and announced that Starfield would not be part of that because it was getting its own specific event to be able to show off things in, as they want to and as long as they want to. We all know that was but them buying time, clearly. And now we know that they're still buying time. So as per Bethesda's official Discord, they announced that they are still, and I quote, sorting stuff out.
This game ain't coming out this year, by the way. It's not coming.
What's the other thing's gonna happen first? That game comes out, or my Tim Hortons paper straw unclogs so I can drink the rest of this fucking ice cap.
I'll be honest, the game's coming out before that shit unclogs. You can go through your ice cap.
That's exactly the right answer to that. That's 100% what's gonna. That shit's there forever now.
It's gone.
It's never leaving that straw. It's fucked now. Yeah. So they're sorting stuff out. That's as much. And then they specified that they're not holding anything. There's nothing. They're acknowledging that it sounds bad, but they're saying there's no specific crazy shit stopping it from happening. They're just sorting some stuff out, whatever the fuck that means. And we'll be getting it eventually, but there's no timeline for even getting this event to see the gameplay or whatnot. This is all very weird. I have it in my notes here, but to me, the excitement around this game is still good. Lots of people are excited about Starfield. It's still a generally positive hype that we're getting right now for Starfield, but people were already starting to go, okay, this game's coming out this year. Are we going to actually see what this fucking game looks like, or are we just going to get like nothing until the day that it launches and not know what we're getting into or whatever? Because it makes people wonder if they're even confident in their game at that point. And so, because it's not a complete, let's say it's not a complete ghost drop where they just don't say anything ever and then just be like, oh, hey, here's our game. It's called Starfield. You never heard of it before. Boom, go play it. They've been talking about it. They have shown it off a little bit here and there. They've been very guarded with it. And so it gives the illusion of, or the feeling of they're not quite confident about it to be showing it off publicly. And the longer this draws out, and knowing that the game is supposed to be out this year, the worse the look gets. Right now, it's still very positive out there, but I feel like, personally, if they push this out too much longer, the narrative's going to start to flip, and people are going to start to throw up some question marks. And then even when you do show off the gameplay, people are going to be like, but they waited so long, and did they just make this like this one specific thing for the gameplay reveal, and we're not, this isn't exactly what it's going to be like, what are they not telling us, etc., etc., the usual shit that the internet manages to put together. And so I feel like they definitely need to get this out. If they don't have this showcase done by the end of March, this game ain't coming out in 2023.
I still don't think it's gonna.
If it does, I think we would both agree. If it does, it's the end of the year. Like, it's November, December. If it does make this window, it would be weird if it wasn't that way. But it'd be very odd. But they have in the past. They did have like here's a trailer and this game is coming out. They did that with Oblivion. So there is precedent for Bethesda holding back like everything and then showing a trailer and then being like, motherfucker, Patrick Stewart arrives on November the fucking whatever, go have fun. And so maybe that is what's going to happen here, but we'll have to wait and see. My only other thing that I have here on my notes, if I want to put on my tinfoil hat, get a little conspiracy theory-ish, is that perhaps this is a big game. It's their exclusive, their big exclusive. Predominantly, the reason why they bought this motherfucker in the first place was to get access to stuff like Starfield and the Elder Scrolls series. And Starfield specifically is an exclusive to the Xbox. It's going to be on the PC, but you know what I mean. It's not going to be on the PlayStation. So, with that being said, and with the buyout situation happening with Activision Blizzard, the tinfoil hat in me could also say, well, maybe they just don't want to show all this off and talk too much about their biggest exclusive of the year until this deal is actually done and dusted. And then they can be like, okay, here it is. Because if they start showing it off, what does it do? Well, it allows Sony to be like, hey, look, they've got the biggest game of the year coming out, and everyone's talking about it. And you know how you got their hands on it? They bought Bethesda. They bought ZeniMax Studios. And so maybe they're trying to just like keep things on the down low. Maybe sorting stuff out is code word for Microsoft is sorting out the fucking Activision Blizzard deal, and we can't show anything because they're afraid it's going to adversely affect this thing going through. Either way, it's not good for the game. Well, one way or the other, it's probably not good for the game. But for right now, I do feel like still positive hype around this game, and I hope it turns out to be good for everyone's sake. If not, Todd's in some trouble. So is Microsoft, because that's all they got. That's all they've got for this year. Nobody gives a shit about Redfall. I'm just going to toss that out there. That's the only other exclusive. Nobody cares. Looks like that Metroid Prime remaster / remake we talked about being surprise released last week or along with that Nintendo Direct is joining Resident Evil 2 in the pantheon of perfect remake remasters. Everyone is saying that it is arguably the best because not only did they knock it out of the park like RE2 did, but they also did the least amount to like actually change the game. You know, RE2 did make some pretty dramatic changes when they made that remake, and in this instance they didn't have to do nearly as much, but it still felt like a different remake. And what people were saying, which is I think the highest praise, is they were like, in my head, this is what this game looked and played like when I was a kid. And then you go back and look at it, you're like, oh shit. Not even fucking close. It looked like ass. But this one looks really good. And I hate to bring out the for a Switch title, but for a Switch title, graphically very impressive game. And it does look great. And there's been nothing but universal praise. So if you're a Metroid person, great times for you. Let me tell you. Big dub coming out of that surprise drop on that remake. PSVR 2. I think I asked you this before, but do you have any plans on picking this up eventually, or are you happy with PSVR 1 in your household?
I mean, I don't have it. My buddy Jared borrowed that like 4 years ago and just has never come back to my house. So
that's a borrow in quotation marks there.
Yeah, he owns that shit now. He just basically just took it. It's not like I'm going to use it anyway. So
no, it's true.
It is what it is. But I have the Oculus Rift, so. I still have
you have a good VR.
Yeah, like the best one out right now. So
yeah.
I probably won't buy it unless there's a Resident Evil game that comes out, like a new one that comes out that requires it, then maybe I'll go pick it up, but even then I'm not even sure I will, just because it's probably a big investment. The VR2 is probably going to be like $500 or $600.
That's about that, yeah. Yeah,
so I probably won't, but I don't know.
If something comes out, you need at least, it's like anything, right? You need at least one game that just like you're desperate, right? You have to, because if you're really buying another console when you buy it, like in terms of cost, it's essentially like buying a second fucking console. And so, now the good news is for PSVR 2 is that it is getting enormous critical acclaim, even from the folks at Digital Foundry. From like a technical perspective, it is an extraordinary headset in the technical regard, and also a lot of the games that are launching with it, including the Horizon one that we've seen several times, and some others, are all also getting very good reviews thus far, very, very positive. And then one of the real big ones outside of the Horizon one is that they are adding this to Gran Turismo as well, and they're putting a lot of emphasis on the Gran Turismo one. And so I think that's probably going to get a lot of attention as well when that completely rolls through. And so that it's It's doing very well. It's reviewing very well. We'll see what the sales are like. But as I have here in my notes, and for the reasons Mr. Black is inadvertently talking about here is that ultimately these are big purchases with a very small game pool, and it's an even smaller game pool unless you're somebody that buys almost anything for a VR headset because you own it for the novelty of VR and not necessarily because the games that are out for it that you absolutely have to play. And so it is a gamble, and it's for both sides. It's a gamble for consumers for that reason, for spending all that money for however many games you might get that you'll play on it, and because of that, that goes up the food chain, and it becomes a gamble for developers and publishers to actually spend the time and energy to make games for this limited base that they can sell to. And so I'm actually impressed that Sony continues to dump so much money into this machine. It's clearly something that they are very confident will eventually become a reason to own their consoles. Maybe it's not this one, maybe it's PSVR 3. On the PS6, but they are very committed to this market segment, clearly. Microsoft has no interest. They haven't gone anywhere near it, and I think that's very telling as to just how expensive and much of a gamble this is. I think Microsoft can, at this point, they have the money. If they wanted to do it, Microsoft could just go fucking do it.
Yeah.
But I think they're sitting back and saying, all right, well, even if we did it right, we're unlikely to make money on it right now. So why not let Sony do all the work, figure out all the market pitfalls, we take all the notes in the world, and then when it actually looks like there's a big enough market to sell to make money on it, then we'll enter the market, then we'll actually do something, which I think is smart. It's, nobody likes to, from a consumer side, you're like, oh, you're just waiting and you're going to copy stuff. Well, yeah, who in the fuck wants to spend hundreds of millions of dollars to make $0 back if you can just let your competitor do most of the work? And Microsoft's already fighting an uphill battle to begin with. When it's true, they have to buy pretty much everyone to make their games. They don't have developers making AAA games right now. They're literally in this because they're spending money. That's it. So there's only so much money you can convince the CEO at Microsoft for the Xbox division to be spending, and I don't think VR is the answer. But good for Sony. They're proving it. It's doable. It looks good.
Giant purple pen. How many people are buying VR just for porn? It's not good.
Oh, we have the answer. Do we have an update on this? Because you said you were going to have an update.
What with the porn?
Yeah, have you tried the VR porn?
I've checked it out. I've checked it out. It's no good.
Not like nothing, like not even like a little bit. Like there's not like some are good, some are bad.
I mean, my biggest issue was actually finding porn that I could actually watch. The thing was, like, I'm gonna be honest. All right, I'm a grown man, so I'm just gonna. Everybody out there knows what's up. All right, I'm just gonna be honest. Okay. I came down. This was a while ago too. This was like months ago. I don't even know why I didn't update this. Right?
Maybe you didn't. I'm just forgetting. But all right,
maybe.
It's possible.
Maybe. But I like my fucking VR is collecting dust over there on the floor. But I went in. Did you get some of that? Did you get some of that out?
Damn it!
Yeah. See, I told you.
Yeah. I want it.
So
but I can't get.
So I was like, man, I don't watch much porn these days. I just don't. I'm just getting older. It's like occasional. It's not like it used to be. Okay. So I was like, okay, you know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna have a good porn session here, and I'm gonna do it via VR. And I'm mentally preparing myself here.
So is this like the 40-year-old virgin? You're lighting candles. You're putting it around the room. You're getting yourself ready.
I mean, I'm prepared, right? Like I'm prepared. I'm prepared to do the deed. Okay. Problem is I'm trying to find where I can
even get some of this.
So like I'm on websites, because I'm trying to like download like actual like you basically need like a third party player. So to
really?
Speak. Yeah, like you can't just. I don't know. Maybe I'm doing it wrong. Somebody can correct me if there's any fucking.
We've gotten too old for porn, Jeff. We don't understand how it works anymore.
Well, I mean, listen. If I'm, if I know how to watch regular porn, I can just go to Pornhub.com
of course.
or whatever. It's there. But like doing it in the VR is way different. it's like you almost have to have the stuff prepared and ready to go, right? So I'm sitting there, I'm on websites, and then I'm Googling like the best places to get it. Do I need to torrent some stuff? Do I need to, I'm definitely not putting my credit card on any. I've never done that in my life. Like I can honestly say I have never paid.
Who the hell pays for life? Even back in the day when it was like probably the best way to do it, ain't nobody got time for that shit,
the closest thing I did, I remember when I was like 16 or 17 years old, somebody had an account to a website, and basically they were giving out the password.
Shit. I remember this shit. I may have given it to you. I don't know. You did? What was the site though?
I totally forget it, bro. I totally forget it. But that's the closest thing. So there was an account that somebody was paying for, and I don't know who it was.
Holy shit. I have not thought about that since it happened. That is a crazy memory to randomly come into my mind there. Holy shit.
That's the closest thing I've ever gotten done to like paying for it, right? Because it was like a real life paid for account.
Yes.
And I just had the password and a random email to log in. And then when you logged in, there was like videos and stuff that you could either stream or download.
Yes.
So anyway, I was like, there's no way in fuck I'm paying for fucking porn. It's just not happening. All right. It's just not in this life or the next. So I said, okay. I'm going to go to these websites. So then there was a website that I went to that actually basically you can stream it, but you still need a third-party player. I forget what it's called. I'd have to like look it up. I probably still have it downloaded on my computer somewhere. But you put on the Oculus, and then you go to the website, but there's like a 3D button or some kind of VR, maybe it's even just says VR.
Yeah,
if you click on that, it'll actually take your video
and put it into that app.
Put it to basically put it in there, and then you can see it in 3D essentially.
Right.
The problem was with that website and other websites, they would only give you like a minute or 2 minute clip. So it'd be like one of these things where everybody has seen this shit where like you see something and they start the porno scene, and the next thing you know it, all you see is like nuts hanging out of a vagina, and the next thing you know it, you see the guy and he's just like busted, and then it's over. And it's like to see the full thing, go to get the premium. So, and I'm like, man, I can't even have a good session with that. Like the scenes are all cut up. Like 1 minute there, I'm not seeing any. I can't enjoy this.
I can't enjoy the story.
And I can't enjoy this. So anyway, dude, no joke. I spent about a half hour, 45 minutes trying to find a way to like have a real session, bro. I gave up. So I ended up like seeing a few clips in the thing.
Was it.
But that was it. I didn't even rub one out. Nothing. Like I didn't even have a session.
Now, how was that? So how are the clips? The clips just mediocre?
I mean, it depends. I think I probably saw maybe 6 or 7 clips in total, because like I would download these videos off the site, but they would be like a 1 minute, 2 minute video. It'd be the same thing. And then I'd watch it, and some of them, depending on how they filmed it, like some of them would be like really, really nice, where you're like, whoa, this is actually kind of cool. It looks like I'm like in the room. But then sometimes it's like really close and like in your face. It's like
you're getting some dude's nutsack in your face.
Yeah, well, not even that. Like it's not, because usually it's the guy POV. Like the ones I saw, it's like you're the dude, like you're the actual guy, and then the girl's like in front of you.
So you had a white dick for a while? Is that what you were saying?
Yeah, and I tried to find some black ones, but there wasn't. I couldn't come across. I'm sure if I dug deep enough, but I feel like, and the problem is with the VR stuff is a lot of it is overproduced, and I don't like.
Oh yeah.
I don't like porn. Like I like amateur stuff, or people that can fake. Like it's like it's actually real, but it's not. This 3D shit. Like if you're filming stuff in fucking 4K 3D, it's a production. You know what I mean?
Like a red camera, 8K HDR.
It's just bad, bro. It's not good. So long story short, it's not great.
Not worth.
If anybody in the comment section knows a really solid place that I can
maybe don't post it on the YouTube comments, because it probably won't go well for you.
Okay,
but
don't do that. But I don't know. If you can let me know, you come to my stream.
Let them know.
Links. Just like, say, hey, this is where the hidden gem site is, but it's not an easy thing. you know, the benefits of watching regular porn is like you can watch it whenever you want. You know, it can be spontaneous, it can be planned, it can be whatever. But with the VR, it's like it's an event. It's like you got to put on a fucking headset, you got to download certain things, upload it onto certain things, play it under a set of circumstances. You got to fuck around with the audio things. Like I've got my fucking headset on, and I got my headphones on just so I can fucking hear something. It's not good. It's not good. I don't recommend. I don't recommend.
Well,
maybe it's just because I'm an old ass fucking boomer, and like, you know, yeah, I'm actually a millennial, but like I feel like I'm a boomer. Maybe it's the new kids that know how to do it better than I do. I don't know. I've tried.
Maybe
I gave up.
You know, it's still technically a little new. You know, they're still figuring it out. I'm sure they'll figure it out eventually.
Until the day I can just put on glasses, like something like
and
this,
just go.
You know what I mean? And just go and watch porn or play games or whatever. Like even when you play video games in VR, it's a lot, man.
Oh yeah. It's a lot. It's true. It's an event every time.
Anyway.
Last one we got here for gaming segment for today. Hogwarts Legacy didn't quite get there, Mr. Black, but almost did. But this is mostly due to the fact that it's not a global launch, or it wasn't a global launch, simultaneous, and it has definitely a more prominent console showing, more people buying it on console, especially the PlayStation 5. But it almost reached Cyberpunk 2077's Steam concurrent record, hitting just shy of 900,000 concurrent players. That was its all-time peak. Now that we're past the peak sales week or whatever, and everyone playing it at the same time, it's dropped, of course. It's not going to get back to its peak. That is its peak, just shy of 900K. It's sitting somewhere. When I went to check the numbers today, so a couple hours ago, there were just under 500,000 people playing it. So it's not like the numbers are low. It's just that the peak has come and gone. But yeah, it was 900,000 concurrent, and Cyberpunk's, or just under I think 879 or something like that. And Cyberpunk's, I think, was just a little under 1.1. So it came damn close. If this was a simultaneous global release, I think it would have done it. It would have probably made it. Or if it was a more prominent PC specific title. But this seems to be weighing more in the direction of the consoles than just purely on Steam. A lot of people buying Cyberpunk back in the day, obviously, because they wanted the crazy fucking ray traced amazing thing versus, you know, playing it on the consoles. But nevertheless, very impressive. I never expected it to get 900,000 people. You know, if you told me the peak was 400, 500,000 people, yes, I'm on board. But if you were going to tell me that it was going to pull nearly 900,000 people, that's a hell of a feat for a fucking, you know, Harry Potter game. You know, I know it's a popular intellectual property, clearly, but I didn't think it was going to, you know, come close to Cyberpunk's grandiose fare. And that's it. That's all I've got. Oh, just a quick reminder before Jeff jumps into selling out. Millennials and now Gen X or Gen Z. Sorry, I want to congratulate all of you Gen Z folks out there. Finally, the time has come. You are now being lumped in with millennials and being blamed for all economic problems in the world. We've carried the mantle for quite some time, but now we are sharing the mantle with Gen Z. So I just want to welcome you all to the seventh circle of hell, where no matter what you do, you are either a problem because you're spending money, or you're a problem because you're not spending enough money. And so congratulations. We had it was Fortune just put out the article here the other day where millennials and Gen Z will be the reason why the economic downturn we are currently experiencing will possibly go on for a decade because of our spending habits.
It's because of the government.
Are you sure? Because last time we killed entire industries for not spending money, but now we're killing everything because apparently we're spending the money we don't have.
Yeah,
so
the government decided to keep printing money over and over and over again and giving every fucking person on the planet, essentially, well, not the planet, but in this first world countries, money. And then you go, whoa, what's going to happen to the economy when somebody's got to pay it back? Guess who pays it back? The middle and lower class. So that's who pays it back.
Which is in almost entirely millennial and Gen Z people right now.
There you go.
And it took me by surprise because I'm so used to just seeing, in bold letters, millennials and then insert problem we caused. But now it's millennials and Gen Z. And I was like, yes, we're sharing the blame. It's not just our fault anymore. We made it. We survived. But the irony was at the end of this article, the person who wrote it, basically the entire thing was worthless because at the end they admit that millennials are basically financially fucked in every category. Like they list, it was an entire paragraph.
Yeah.
Like completely fucked. Generational wealth, fucked. Amount of productivity through the fucking roof for the amount of money that the generation has is fucking insane. But housing costs, like the multiple of your household income versus what it is to even try to get into a house or even rent. So like the amount of just of living expenses, everything. Then there was like a comparison of the 1980s, like 19% interest versus what it would be now today. And today's is worse by something like 20 to 30% on the actual, everything's ass. But the title is like, millennials spending too much money. What money? Where's this money you're talking about? Because I certainly do not have any of this money that you're talking about. But hey, once again, Gen Z, welcome. It's your fault now. And with that being said, it's time for you to spend more of your money. And we have a place that you can spend it, Mr. Black, don't we?
Yeah, it's patreon.com/LagTV. Head on over there and support the podcast if you haven't already. Big thank you to those that continue to do so. You keep the show going. And if you want to support the sponsor, which in turn supports the podcast, we've got NordVPN. You can go to www.nordvpn.com/OTT. Use the promo code OTT and get a massive discount plus a bonus month. Plus, for the 11-year anniversary, you also get a surprise gift. Don't know exactly what that is.
It's not VR porn.
Give you a little present. No, it's definitely not. But if you are watching VR porn, you can use a VPN if you don't want people to know exactly
that you're watching VR porn.
There you go. I mean, you can do that. I didn't turn on my VPN when I decided to venture out. Good news, I didn't really watch any anyway because it was too hard to find. But if you want to hide what you're doing on the internet, if you want to unlock different regions of the interwebs,
yes,
an unlocked region block content, you can do that with NordVPN. 11 years in the game, guys. They know what they're doing. It is the 11-year anniversary. Use the promo code OTT when you get a 2-year subscription or more. Get that bonus gift. And you can stay safe and stay anonymous when you're on the internet. It's not just about watching region block content, but it's also primarily about staying safe and anonymous. Whether you're at home, whether you're traveling, public, Wi-Fi, it doesn't really matter. You can use up to 6 simultaneous devices, and with a 30-day money-back guarantee, you can try it out risk-free. Try it for 30 days. If you don't like it, it's okay. Get your money back. No questions asked. You can use it on your smartphone, your smart TV, your iPad, your Mac, your PC, anything and everything. They virtually got an app for it all. Super easy to use, guys. It's literally the click of a button. You don't need to be a programmer. You don't have to understand code. It is literally as easy as seeing a map, clicking on where you want to mask yourself.
Nicaragua.
That's it. You're like, I'm going to be Nicaraguan. Is that what that is?
I actually don't know. I don't know what the official term is.
Sounds right. But it sounds right. I could be wrong.
Sounds right.
And it even works in China. So, you can use it virtually anywhere. Go check them out, guys, especially on the anniversary. Get that extra gift. See if you're up for renewal. This also works, guys, if you get a new 2-year subscription or renew. So go check them out. Use the promo code OTT. Link will be in the description of this video. And if you're on the RSS feeds, it is nordvpn.com/OTT. Plus, they got threat protection. Run it on your desktop. It's an app that works only on the desktop. You don't have to be connected to a VPN, and it makes it so that when you're surfing the internet, it will detect and remove malware, and it will also remove malicious pop-ups, and makes it so that these websites can't track everything you're doing and know where you're going and what you're looking at and where you're browsing and all this other stuff. Guys, it's nobody's business but your business. So, for a couple of dollars a month, have that anonymity. Go check out NordVPN. And that's it.
Let's fucking go. I'm actually impressed you managed to say the word anonymity because I almost never say that right personally.
Boom.
Nailed it. Fucking crushed it.
Nailed it. First try, too.
It's one of those words I've never in my life. Every time I go to say it, in my head it sounds right, and then my mouth tries to say the word, and it just comes out.
Unanimous.
I just have a stroke every time. And now it's time for
movies and TV.
An actual respectable list this week, Mr. Black, of things that have happened in the world of movies and TV. Although most of them are trailer announcements, to be fair, but nevertheless. Fast and the Furious 10, or X, whichever one you want to go with, has got its trailer, and that bitch is a movie in and of itself. You don't have to go to the theater anymore. Just go and watch that trailer. It's over 4 minutes long, and I feel like I've seen the whole fucking movie. I gotta be honest.
You have seen it.
Did you watch that trailer?
I did. And I also watched Fast 9 2 days ago.
Oh, really?
Well, I heard the trailer came out, and I'm like, well, I'm not going to watch the trailer unless I watch the movie. Then I'm like, okay, fuck it, I'll watch the movie. So
what were your thoughts on Fast 9?
Oh, I hated it. I mean, I thought it was pretty fucking shit, if I'm being honest. I know you didn't mind it, but I just thought it was dog water. It was bad.
I didn't mind it in the sense that like it's like, you know, it's the Fast and the fucking Furious.
Yeah, I'm over it. Like I'm actually I might not watch 10. Like legit. I mean, Jason
well, you've already seen it. You watched the trailer. You've literally seen the whole. I wish I was joking. I'm not. Like, go watch this trailer. If you don't feel like you've seen every fucking major plot point and its conclusion, I'll be shocked. I mean, like, I swear to God, it's the whole fucking movie. Like every high point.
Dude, watching Tyrese's character fight like 15 dudes with like fucking MP5s all around him.
He's got superpowers, bro.
And then they make these jokes like throughout the whole movie, like, how is it that we just are still alive? And like, you know, we're I don't know how we go, you know, we went through a minefield and
the power of money.
All this is it's like how is this? It's like it was just too self-aware. It was just like, I'm not feeling this at all. I don't find it particularly funny. I chuckled twice. Everybody just seems over it. Like, like virtually every person is there for the paycheck. You know, I thought John Cena did well for like, you know, the character he played, I guess, like
the long lost brother of Dom.
Yeah. And I saw it coming, bro. Like I did just the way they said, I knew how it was going to end. I knew that, you know, spoiler alert, I really don't care. But I knew that like he didn't actually mean to kill his dad and I saw all that. I was like, you know, oh yeah, fucking Dom is thinking his brother just killed his father, but it's not quite as simple as that. And the brother kind of held that in and he was doing it for the family and he just took it and drove off into the sunset. And I mean, I just saw it all coming and it wasn't particularly good. You know, the people flying around in fucking like Wonder Woman jets and like everything was a magnet. Like, yeah, I like it was, you know, it was cool to see it in the beginning. I was like, okay, that was neato.
And then they did it like 4 more times.
80% of the stunts had to do with magnets in the whole movie. It was like,
where was the insane clown posse?
Holy shit. It was just like, fuck. I'm over it. You know, I didn't particularly buy the whole Han shit. I didn't even think his comeback was very good. He didn't do much in the movie at all. I
gotta be honest though, I'm a Han simp, so I was okay with it.
That's why he's in there. It was fan service. Because even the dudes, even fucking Bow Wow and the guy with the southern accent.
Oh, you know, from Tokyo Drift.
From Tokyo Drift, like they had the whole, and they had that weird like scientist dude, the rocket scientist guy that like.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
Dude, it just seemed none of it made sense. Like, it would be like one scene they're in like fucking, I don't know, like the jungle, and then the next scene they're in like fucking Tokyo, and then the next scene they're in wherever, and it was just like
it was too much fan service in one movie, and they couldn't find a way to stitch it together in a way that made any sense whatsoever.
Bro.
And it was, like you said, very self-aware. I appreciated parts of the self-awareness because, you know, the fact, obviously they knew that everyone on the internet joked about, like, where does Fast and Furious go? Clearly they have to go to fucking space. And so, like, I appreciate that they at least acknowledged this when they were in the fucking movie, because it is ridiculous, it's stupid, but they did it, and like, I appreciated that. But like you said, there was a lot where, like, if they had just done like hints of that, like, okay, they acknowledge the space thing, and okay, yeah, Han is back, but we don't need to, like, you know, make a big deal of it, or we don't need to have every single fucking character paraded across the screen. If they had just, like, you know, less is more situation and just got picked, it would have been a better experience and probably easier to write, because they clearly fell apart at the wheels trying to figure out how to stitch all of this fuckery together.
Yeah. And like Han died. Like, that was in the script, and like they never expected to bring him back, but because the movies made so much money,
he was a very popular character.
Exactly. And they just turned it around and just came up with this weird, convoluted thing that just made no fucking sense. He's like protecting a child, and the child is part of this fucking thingy bobber, and then like I don't even know where they're going on the next one. Like, John Cena is now part of the family, and fucking now we got to fight Jason Momoa, and Jason Momoa has been there the whole time throughout this whole saga, but you never saw him.
His character was one of like the random people thrown from a vehicle in one of the old movies, but you never saw the guy's face, and so the whole plot story, or the plot behind it, is like, you know, the life that he didn't get to have because, you know, the Fast crew fucked his whole life up and killed his family, and now he's got to come for theirs. And it's like, it feels like I've seen this plot in the Fast movies like 4 times now, probably because I have. And so like that's my biggest gripe with it was, look, I know it's Fast and the Furious now, which means it's going to be, it's not going to be, you're not going to watch it for anything, but it's a bit of a nostalgic, you know, series for you at this point. And, you know, it's big, it's bombastic, and so you're going to get a couple of cool scenes, like the magnet thing before they did it 4 more times. You know, it was cool to watch, whatever, you know, unique stuff. And then beyond that, like, you can't really expect a hell of a lot. This is just Vin Diesel milking this bitch absolutely dry, and then some.
Yeah, bro. And now they're already talking about 11, and they're trying to get fucking Robert Downey Jr. to be in number 11, and he just can't stop. It's like...
He can't, dude.
Anyway, I mean, listen, I watched it. I won't say I hated it, but like, I didn't like it.
It looked better than 9. The trailer it looked better than 9. That's not a high bar.
Yeah,
but it looked better than 9.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just over it. I'll eventually watch. I'm definitely not going to the theater. Like, there's not a chance in fucking going to the theater. Fast peaked at 7. 7, dude. If they would have just ended it at 7, the send off, just end it. I mean, that would have been dreamy. But I understand when movies make billions of dollars,
you gotta keep going.
You gotta keep going, right?
Question before we move on: before this series comes to an actual closure at 13 or whatever, 12, whatever the fuck I can't remember which one they said they're ending at, 11 or 12. Do they bring back digital Paul Walker one more time?
No. I think that'd be distasteful too.
So do I. I'm just wondering if somebody's going to be crazy enough to...
I don't think so. I think at most they'll have his brother. Like, maybe his brother will have a little bit of a role as like a send-off. And that's about as far as I think that's going to go. But I don't think they're going to touch the Paul Walker stuff.
I want it to not happen because it would be so distasteful. But the cynical part of me looks at it and goes, God, there's a chance they fucking drag that bitch out and fucking just...
Yeah, I don't think so. I think they just I think they love him too much to really do that, and I think that it was such a respectful way that they ended the his saga that, like, why? You know what I mean? Don't fuck with a good thing.
That's very true. That's very true. Guardians 3 also got a trailer released. I'm assuming you also saw the trailer for Guardians 3. What were your feelings on that one, Mr. Black?
Yeah, it looks good. It looks good. It's the last one, so, you know, Guardians has always been pretty good.
Yep.
So
yeah, I agree. I think Guardians is probably going to be James Gunn's, like, that's his thing. That I will remember him for. He could go on to do other things, but I think Guardians is the most impressive. He took a section of the Marvel universe that not very many people knew about or gave a shit about in like the mainstream anyway. You know, if you're a big comic book person, I'm sure you deeply knew who the fuck the Guardians were. And then most of the actors he brought in to do these roles were also
unknown, pretty much.
Unknown nobodies.
Yeah. Unless the voice, like Bradley Cooper does Rocket, and Vin Diesel does Groot, but I'm Groot or whatever his name is.
Yeah, Groot.
But everybody else was like kind of unknown.
And turn them all into fucking megastars and
people
made
knew
it
who
all
Chris
work.
Pratt was because of the TV show, but like he wasn't like a mega star yet.
No, and Guardians blew him and that because he's being himself. It's kind of like Ryan Reynolds. He's basically playing himself.
Deadpool,
as Deadpool, like he's playing himself. Same idea. He's doing it, and it works very well. I'll it'll be great to see. I agree, it looked good. I don't expect anything less from it. They've all been good, and I expect the send off will also be very good. And it'll be a little sad to see the crew go and sunset them, but nevertheless, look really good. It's funny to see Batista just get like it looks like he gets bigger and bigger in every fucking movie. Like Guardians 1, 2, and 3, but now 3, he's got like a little bit of extra weight. He's getting older now, so he's like water weight's getting a little heavier. So like there's a scene of him in the trailer sitting on the couch or whatever, he sits up and I was like, God dang, but bro, you weigh like 400 fucking pounds now? Look at the size of you, bro. Like his head's fucking enormous, his neck's enormous. He's got like, it's not like a steroid gut, but like he's older now, so he's got like that compressed fucking old man torso. He just keeps getting bigger and fucking bigger. Next up, what do I got here? Right. Okay, so another trailer dropped, and this one I'm kind of excited for because, the two of them coming together made one of my favorite movies of all time. I'm talking about Matt Damon and Ben Affleck coming together to write and I'm assuming also direct, and then of course star in a movie based on the Nike and Michael Jordan deal that's called Air. Watch the trailer for that. Looks really good, and again, I think those two are fucking killer together in writing, in acting, in directing. And so I will be very much watching. I mean, and on top of that, it's about a basketball fucking thing. So I'm going to be watching the shit out of that whenever it comes out. Did you see the trailer for that, Mr. Black?
Yeah.
How'd you feel about that?
Oh, it looks good. I mean, I'm in.
Oh,
they're great together, so I'm in. I like Matt Damon and Ben Affleck together or by themselves. So
exactly. Yeah. And you get like a little bit of their like the humor in there. They got they snuck a little bit in there, like the rookie joke where Ben Affleck's character was like, "And now you want me to sign a rookie that's never been on a fucking NBA basketball court before?" Matt Damon's character, that's the literal definition of a rookie. Yes. I think it's a Matt Damon delivery, and it's so fucking dry, and they're such a great fucking pair together. I'm happy that they both became successful. Honest to God, I think it was more or less Good Will Hunting that launched both of them, and especially from a writer perspective and directing perspective. So I'm so happy that they get to continue to do this now that they are both much, much, much bigger. And with better careers for it. Let's see here. If hate farming was the plan, it seems to have worked, Mr. Black. Velma got renewed for a second season.
There you go.
Fuck. There's been some really good shows torched after one season, and these motherfuckers are putting a second season of Velma on. Holy shit. Why? But a more impressive news, I Am Legend 2 is going ahead. I forgot that this was even a thing. That they were like, even like this was being fielded. I forgot that that this was in the works. But it's going ahead still, and will star Michael B. Jordan alongside Will Smith, who is reprising his role from the original movie. And will be set decades after the original film. Interesting point here is that the sequel will build off of the alternate ending.
Yeah, where he doesn't get blown up.
Yeah. They're not pulling a Han here. They at least had an alternate ending built in so that they weren't like, surprise! He wasn't blown up. This is what really happened. And it just looked like he blew up. But he didn't. No, thankfully they had an alternate ending for that, so they're obviously going to build off of that alternate ending to make this one work. I haven't seen that movie in so fucking long, dude. I haven't watched I Am Legend in a long time. It was pretty good.
Yeah, not too bad.
It was okay. I don't know if it needed another one, but hey, it gives another reason for Michael B. Jordan to do a movie, so thumbs up. And now for a movie that we all actually give a shit about, John Wick 4, Mr. Black. This has been Wick Week, they've dubbed it, where they were releasing like basically like poster type pictures every day, and then it culminated in I guess in this trailer. It's the final trailer for the movie, Chapter 4. And we also found out this week that the thing is nearly 3 hours long, like 2 hours and 49 minutes or some crazy fucking run time. And so all I said in my notes here is, please God, let that mean that it's going to be more story dispersed amongst all that action, because 3 hours of John Wick 1 would be way better than 3 hours of John Wick 3.
Bruh.
And that's all I care about.
When I heard this shit was 2 hours and 50 minutes long, I rolled my eyes so hard that I
saw the back of your head?
I did. I went from looking forward to this movie to like, I don't. Nobody asked for 3 hours of John Wick.
I mean, I'll be honest. 3 hours of good John Wick, I will watch the shit out of it. Like I said, John Wick 1 for 3 hours,
it's too
I'm
much.
in.
It's too high octane for 3 hours. Fucking.
Well, John Wick 1 wasn't like that's why I said John Wick, because there was a lot of story that happened in John Wick 1, and you and I both are in the camp where we want more of the lore and the story and all that stuff, because it's so fucking intriguing. And the further this went on, the less of that we got, to the point where John Wick 3, I think we both described it as a video game where like John Wick entered stage 1 and kicked everyone's fucking ass, and then all of a sudden the scene switches with almost no segue, and then it's John Wick in another scene kicking everyone's ass, and then it's another scene, and it was scene with no story. And yeah, it was cool watching him kick all that ass, but you gotta have more than just kicking some ass. You gotta have something else, because that's what made John Wick so fucking intriguing. It was the classic, he killed motherfuckers with a pencil. Like, that's the shit that launched that whole fucking series. It wasn't like just the idea that, we could pull the camera back and watch Keanu Reeves at 56 years old fucking do all sorts of crazy shit, as nice as that is. So I agree, it is long. I don't think I need to. 2.5 hours, 2 hours, 30 minutes of John Wick 1. Give me that. Just shy of 3 hours, you better be, boy, that movie better be fucking good. 2 hours and 50 minutes.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, I'm obviously going to watch it, but like,
oh, God damn. Dude, I can't lie, bro. I fucking love John Wick. I can't fucking lie. That shit. Keanu Reeves is fucking John Wick now. He ain't Neo anymore. Keanu Reeves is John Wick.
He's still Neo for me.
I can't. He's still Neo for me, but like in my mind now, he looks the part. He plays it so well, and so yeah, it's kind of hard. He's done very well with it. The legendary, last thing I got here, the legendary Takeshi's Castle. You know what that show is, Mr. Black?
No.
So it's a Japanese game show where it was like a complete obstacle course type thing, but it was the type of obstacle course where like, fists would be coming out of a fucking wall and you're just getting your shit rocked.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
There's been like some Takeshi's Castle like lookalike shows that have been done, but none have been the complete over-the-top bet, because it's a Japanese show, complete bonkers bullshit. And so they have announced they are bringing back a new series for Takeshi's Castle. It's a reboot with one of the original cast members returning to host alongside a brand new second host. And so lots of people are clearly pretty excited about that. It is a fun show to watch. You can go online. It became one of, like, I remember first hearing about it. It's because, like most things, it was a Japanese show that not a lot of people knew about, leaked onto the internet. And how clippable is a bunch of people getting dummied by shit in a fucking obstacle course. And it was the announcers were so over the top. And it was very much memeable, and the internet grabbed onto that bitch and ran with it. And so to have this come back is kind of fun, and I'm sure it will do relatively well depending on what network or whatever it ends up on. I don't know where it's going. Hopefully it's not like fucking Peacock or some shit. We'll just go there to die. But nevertheless, more internet memes incoming. And kind of related to this, and not that I have it in my notes, but and then I'll ask you if you've got anything for this week for movies and TV. and I am really want to watch the show. It's on Netflix. It's called like the Physical 100. Have you seen that on your like the clips? It's a Korean show.
It's like the Squid Games of like athletic specimens.
Yeah, they definitely took like the aesthetic of the Squid Game. Nobody's actually getting fucking killed out there, but I will be honest, people were getting fucking dummied, bro. Some people were getting wrecked. So the whole concept of the show is that they take, and it's kind of like the aesthetic is kind of cool. So they have 100 contestants. They are like from Korea, the most fit people from like every category you can imagine. So from movie stunt people through fencers or dancers, and then into bodybuilders, rugby players, power lifters. There's multiple Olympians, gold medal winning Olympians that are on the show. Anything. So it's a huge range, and they all had their body casted in like plaster, just their torsos, and they're set around the room or whatever. And as you get knocked out throughout the show, you've got to take a hammer and smash your torso because your body is not the perfect body. You know, it's supposed to be trying to find who, you know, what type of body is the perfect athletic body is like the whole concept of the show. Dude, like the second fucking episode, man. So there are some like Olympic level wrestlers in this bitch. And there was one of the, because I know you're unlikely to watch this, but it's not really spoilers anyway, but there's a game that they did where there was a ball in one of two different arenas. One arena was like more of like a, you know those arenas they set up for like tag between but high level tag between two guys. You know, they have like the jungle gyms and all that shit. So one arena is kind of like that, and then another arena is literally just a water pit, and then sand on the outside and some fucking tires. So one, you get people going in there. They want a one-on-one beat the shit out of each other to get this ball, and then at the end of the timer, whoever has the ball wins. This is essentially it. Same thing in the other arena, but obviously it's a little bit more of an athletic. You know, people will go there if they feel like their speed is going to be the thing that wins the game for them. Dude, this wrestler guy got picked to go up. Yeah, like the guy picked the wrestler, which was fucking insane. I don't know why anyone would do that shit. Picked it because he had the idea that he was going to be a little slower because he is big. I mean, he's fucking 5'2", but he's like a circle. He's just a fucking circle. And this other guy was jacked fucking whatever, huge policeman, 6'3", like 265 pounds, huge. Goes in, got fucking destroyed. And the man made a point. He took the ball, the wrestler took the ball, threw it out in front, and said, "Let's fucking go." And then just ran it. And dude, no joke, this dude is like, I swear to God, the height difference was comedic. He legitimately, and this is just like actual dirt, this is not a wrestling ring, he dead ass German suplexed this guy in the middle of it. Full on like WWE style, grabbed the waist, 6'3", 260, fucking full bridge suplexed his ass in the arena and was throwing him around. And the guy was doing voiceover in the, after he's like, and he was like, I gotta be honest, I've very few people have ever lifted me off the ground. He was like, I didn't know what the fuck was going on. I'm not used to this. I was getting thrown around like a piece of paper. His ass was just like fucking like, this fucking wrestler was just dummying his ass. It was incredible. And at the end, he picked up the ball, and instead of running away from him, he full fucking football charged his ass. Like he was making a point that he was going to kill everyone in this fucking competition. He's nuts.
Letting him know, I'm the alpha dog.
Oh
what are you
my!
gonna do about it? Who else wants some?
Holy shit, dude! There's like a 48-year-old like MMA Korean like legendary MMA guy that's on the show. It's actually kind of interesting. Check it out if you want. Very interesting concept for a show, and they are legitimately all very fit, very impressive, and everyone is given 100%. Some behind the scenes shit, they were like, oh my god, people are getting sent to the hospital like every fucking 30 minutes. People are getting fucking destroyed on it. So it's like a little bit more of a real life Takeshi's Castle, except instead of like a big foam hand coming out and punching you, you have a 285-pound wrestler suplexing your ass into the fucking dirt. Like it's some sort of fucking anime. This is quite impressive. So nevertheless, definitely an interesting show to pick up and give it a look. And now, unless you've got any more, you got anything else coming up? Great.
Nothing.
Fantastic, which means it's time for
tech support.
Patreon.com/LangTV is a place to go if you want to financially support this podcast. Keep this bad boy going. $10 or more a month gets you a couple of perks. Chiefly, you get to ask us some questions each and every week as I put a post up on the Patreon page for you fine folks in that category and higher. Call tech support. You can ask us questions and we give you answers in the time that we have. Let's see what we've got. Henry Chesmore asks, play a game you can't stand for a year and receive 1.2 million afterwards, or play a game you love for a year and not make anything. Take a guess at what I'm going to do for a year.
1.2 million?
Easy.
I'll play whatever game you want me to play for a year.
Easy.
That's not
I'll
even
get suplexed by a Korean wrestler for an entire year for $1.2 million.
Yeah.
I'm going to need it for the next surgery, but I'm going to fucking do it. Easy choice. Easy choice. Seth, oh, here we go. We're back. At least it's not Miyagi asking it this time. Marry, fuck, kill, Mr. Black. Coming in hot from Seth on this one says, Jeff Bezos, Elon Musk, and Bill Gates. Marry, fucking kill.
Damn. I mean, I'm marrying Elon Musk. Because I'm not going to see him anyway.
That's so true. You'll never see him.
You never see him, right? So I'm marrying him.
Yeah.
I'm fucking Jeff Bezos because
dude's jacked, bro.
He's in the best shape out of all of them.
That's true.
And he's got all the toys. He's probably takes you to a good party or whatnot. I mean, I don't know. And then I'm killing Gates. I'm sorry. I mean, he's the oldest. He's lived the longest. I wouldn't feel as bad.
Time to send him off to greener pastures.
Yeah, it's he has. I'm not. Yeah, I'm gonna have to go with it.
That's my order as well, I think, and for the same reasons, really. I mean, you will never see Elon Musk. His kids barely see him, so you're never gonna fucking see him. And Jeff Bezos, yeah, dude's in shape. He knows what's up. He's bald. You put a wig on him. And then, Bill Gates, like you said, lived a long time, did a lot of good. I think he's already got sets that when he dies, all of his money goes to charity anyway. So
there you go. You're helping out the world in a roundabout way. I mean,
Easy. Let's see. Kind of oddly related here. Volkus, what's the weirdest thing you've ordered or ever seen offered on Amazon?
The weirdest thing I've ordered or seen offered on Amazon? I haven't ordered anything weird.
I haven't ordered anything weird personally, but you know what I've seen is what lots of people have seen. There's the 50-gallon tub of lube.
Ooh, that's a lot of lube. I mean, I have
you know what 50 gallon? It's the industrial barrel.
Yeah, it's like a big fucking blue tub.
Yes,
like one of them things you chop a body up and you put it in
and you
with
put
acid.
it in. Yes,
you know what I mean? Like one of them fucking things filled with lube.
But lube, bro. How much lube you use in your lifetime? Not that much.
It's
Let's
like
be honest.
Jeffrey Dahmer's fucking tub. Yeah, that might be one of the weirdest things I've seen on there. Because I've seen it too. I've seen the memes and shit. I have never ordered anything crazy. I just don't know why you'd need that much lube. I think like the amount of lube that I've used in my life is like.
Man, does a porn studio even need that much lube?
Like three regular sized bottles of lube have been used in my entire life.
Because you don't need it's lube. You're not like fucking comedically squeezing half a bottle in your hand. The shit's got like. It is designed to not be used a lot of and get a lot of mileage out of it.
Yeah, and like lube is, I mean, I don't know what fucking people are doing with lube. I mean, I do know what people do with lube, but like,
yes,
I don't know how you need that much lube. Like, unless somebody like
medical conditions exist.
Medical conditions make sense, then yes. But even 50 gallons,
Look, Ben Shapiro's down bad, bro. He thinks getting wet is a medical condition. So,
What?
Did you ever see that Ben Shapiro talking about his wife, and like how, or like in response to the music video about wet ass pussy, and he was talking about how about like a wet pussy being like some sort of venereal disease, and then everyone went, well, clearly that means Ben's wife is never it's never wet. He just outed himself as never being able to get his wife aroused in his entire life. So maybe Ben needs the 55-gallon,
So fucking dumb, man. Anyway, I mean, I don't know why in the fuck you would ever need 50 gallons of fucking lube. You can't even use that in a lifetime. Listen, you could have a medical condition where your vagina cannot get fucking wet, and even still,
you're
50
still not
gallons of lube in a lifetime.
It's a lot of lube.
I mean, unless you were getting fucking railed like all day, every day. Even then, I'm not even sure. 50 gallons?
It's a lot of
lube.
Like
when you use lube, I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'm using it wrong, but like, it's not a lot. Like, you don't need.
No.
It's not like
no, it's like a dime sized.
It's not a lot.
Like on a high end, like a nickel.
Yeah.
Like on a high.
How much?
You going north of a dime, bro?
Yeah.
Either you've got a big tank, or you've got some Ben Shapiro problems. One of the.
I mean, I know like baby oil. Like I know like some people like to use baby oil in the bed.
Oh, that can't be healthy.
No,
or
but
do you mean for massages and stuff?
But like they use baby oil to like they don't necessarily use the oil for lubricant, so to speak. Although I'm sure it gets on there and it uses. But like some dudes are really into lubing up their ladies' ass cheeks and like just
the shine.
The shine. You put some
got
shine
the lights on.
Yeah, and they use a lot. Like you could probably go through 55 gallons of that if it's like your thing, because like
dip them in the bucket. Just open the container, take your wife, dip her in the bucket, and put her back on the bed.
Bruh.
It's a lot of lube, bro.
It's a lot of lube.
It's a lot of lube. Let's see. Xenon, continuing from the fitness discussion last week, what was your least favorite thing to do at the gym, but you felt like you had to push your way through anyway? Leg day.
Legs. Yeah.
Leg day. Like, I'll just keep it 100. I'm 89% leg. I'm 11% torso. If you ever saw pictures at Jeff's wedding when I didn't have my jacket on and you just saw, like the dress shirt and, the dress shirt's tucked in, you would actually, because it's dress pants, or you're actually wearing them where you're supposed to. You're not wearing jeans like halfway down, I'm not talking like I'm wearing like 2001, you can see my fucking underwear low, but like it's different when you're wearing dress pants because they're actually above your hips. You got a belt on, the whole 9 yards. So if I do that and I've got the dress shirt, you will see I'm literally 11% torso, 89% leg, and it is a long way down. And it's a long way back up. And it takes a lot of blood to be able to fucking keep those legs going. And so squats and shit are torture. For me. I mean, beyond the bad knees, which were never good in the first place, but beyond that, fuck leg day, man. You get tired so quick. My heart get higher doing leg day than it does on the treadmill for 3 mile run, because it's just so much blood doing so much leg, and I'm not in the greatest shape. So like I do like some squats, or if I do like lunges, I'm gassed. That's it. I get like 2 sets, I'm sleeping. So yeah, leg day was always the day that I fucking couldn't stand. And honestly, chest, I wasn't a big fan of chest if I was doing bench press, because my arms are really long and my wrist joints are bad. And so I eventually dropped doing Olympic pressing and just used dumbbells, because I could have my shoulders in a less compromised position, and my elbows and my wrists, because on a straight bar you have no choice. Your wrists have to be in line with the bar, but with dumbbells, when you're doing presses, you can rotate your wrists in and have a natural position for whatever your wrist structure is. And so I just went down to dumbbells for that reason, because otherwise I was fucked on a bench press. So yeah, but majority leg day. Fuck a leg. Does anyone really like leg day?
It's not my thing.
Sadists.
It's not my
or
thing.
masochist, I should say. Let's see. But you gotta do it because, fun fact, the most free test enters your body doing leg work because the muscles are so large. So, if you want to maximize, if you're really going for it, you have to do leg day because the rest of your body will actually get access to some more free test if you do leg day. So, take that for what you will. Or you can just do steroids, Maybe, but probably don't do that. I'm not a doctor. Dr. Samurai, moving to Vegas. Oh, shit. Any non-Vegas recommendations? Okay, moving to Vegas, but well, I've not been to Vegas, nor have I been to Nevada. So, I have no idea what exists in or outside of the area. I don't know if Mr. Black has ever ventured outside of Vegas while being there.
I've only been on the Strip. That's pretty, and like the odd establishment, I guess, like kind of off the Strip. But I couldn't tell you about Vegas real estate or how what it's like living there and stuff. So
I would say if I had to take a guess, anything within 60 miles of the Vegas Strip, the answer is the Vegas Strip. Is probably how that goes. If I had to take a guess. Because really, how do you run a business that's not on the Strip but close to the Strip and still have it be successful unless it's like a mom and pop shop fucking diner or some shit? Like, what are you gonna do? Kalutzi, what's something that makes you turn aggressive? For example, I'm generally peaceful and I tell you during basketball practice to take it easy on my back because my hernias are acting up and you continue to hit the area anyway, I'll almost immediately want to clothesline you. I mean, that's just being an asshole. But yes, I don't even know if that's like, I mean, I'm not going to see why that would make you aggressive. I mean, just somebody continuously elbowing me anywhere in my body is going to make me aggressive.
I'm already not going to be happy
hernia
about
or
it.
not. I mean, there's an expected level of physical contact playing ball, but like some guys like to go, a little too much. And so eventually, if they're doing it, if you're under the net, you're working on the net like I did. Played a 4 or 5. Guys, there are a lot of elbows. You're catching elbows all over the place. And there was a couple of guys that I played against when I was playing ball in City League that had a tendency of going low and getting an elbow in the fucking groin. And so, the moment that they start doing elbows in the groin, the immediate response is, watch out. Because the next time you go up and I go up to block you, I'm not actually going for the ball.
No.
I'm going to kill you. And I'll take the foul and it will be fine. But it will be worth. Because you elbowed me in the fucking balls. But yeah, as far as like instant aggression goes, or like makes me feel more aggressive, man.
I don't really, I don't typically, I'm always like pretty grumpy. Like I'm a pretty grumpy person to begin with. Like
baseline grumpy.
Yeah, like I'm baseline grumpy. So like, it doesn't take much for me to tell somebody to go fuck themselves or like, kind of have like you're a fucking idiot. You know what I mean? But like in terms for me to get like really aggressive, I can't remember the last time I got like super mad over just dumb shit. I don't have like, I wouldn't necessarily say I have a temper, but like if I don't like somebody, I don't mind telling them like you're a fucking idiot. Like, yeah. and that's pretty much as far as it'll go, right? Like, and they could even say, well, you're a bigger fucking idiot. Be like, okay, moron. And then that's it. Like, I can't really, I don't know. I don't remember the last time I got like super fucking mad at somebody over some frivolous dumb shit. Like even road rage. Like if somebody cuts me off, I'm the type of guy that will like, if we're at a red light, so say somebody cuts me off and then the red light comes, I'll literally drive up next to them and I'll roll down the window. And like sometimes they're like, they know, like you're sitting there.
It's the rare time their hands are both on the wheel.
10 and 2, and they're looking straight forward. And, if they look at me, I'll just say like, you're a fucking idiot. Right. It doesn't bug me. Like, I don't care. And I'm the type of guy too, that like, I don't care who it is. Like, I don't care if it's some big fucking dude or some little dude or whatever, right? If it's a girl, I won't act as aggressive, right? I'll say like fucking, like what the fuck, you know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? I'm not gonna be like fuck you, but I'm not gonna like go off on a girl, but like I'll definitely give her like the stink eye, like what the fuck, like what are you doing? But that's about as far as I go for like raging out. Like I don't even at home. Like I've just learned to walk away when I'm like really upset about something. People know when I'm upset. They're like, oh yeah, Jeff's just let him be. I'll get over it. Like, yeah, I don't really rage out. Maybe when I was younger, even then, like I didn't, I've punched one wall in my life. Like I put a hole in a wall once when I was like young, when I was like 21, like just so mad. I didn't know what, I just punched something.
And miraculously missed a stud.
I missed a stud. I did fuck up. I actually have a scar. I think I used my left, actually. Was it my left or my right? It was I'm trying to find the scars. It was my left. Yeah. So I have like 2 scars on my knuckles because when I punched through it, I don't know if it was just the drywall or there was something behind.
Could still be sharp.
Yeah. So I had like a couple cuts on my knuckles. And that's about as angry I think as I've ever got in my life. Like not in my life, but like to the point where I like you kind of have like blackout rage where you're just like really fucking mad, and it's just like, and then I realized what I did, and I was like, whoa, that's not me. I never did it again. And I even had to talk to my dad. Like I had to call my dad. I'd be like, yo, Dad, like I punched the wall, and he's like, it's okay, son. I'll come down and see. We patched it up and had a man-to-man talk, and I'm like, man, I'm a little embarrassed. Like, this is not me. And he's like, yeah, it's all good. So that's as far as I've ever gone, like in terms of like rage.
Yeah, I've never like I can get like loud and boisterous about stuff if I'm like frustrated about something or whatever, but it's rarely pointed at anyone. If usually the only person that makes me truly angry is myself. If I do something stupid, that's usually the fastest way for me to get angry is just being hard on myself and less about somebody else doing something. There was one time for like blackout angry, like bordering on blackout angry. The only thing I can ever think of was like, and it was a really weird occurrence. So not long after Gaby and I started dating, which was like, this was like, 7, 8, 9 months after Natalie and I had separated. And there was somebody that she knew from back over across the pond that was like trying to be big brothery or some shit at the time, and wanted to talk to me and about something. And so we were on a fucking Skype call or some shit at the time. And I was sitting in my office, and he legitimately just it was weird, and it was super fucking I don't even know why, like what went through his mind to even do any of this shit. So he clearly went out and like scoped out my social media, found out Natalie's name, and then made some shit up where he was talking to people and I knew he could make him shit up because 1, never happened, but 2, Natalie was completely offline. Nobody ever like interacted with her literally ever. So, but we were sitting there on video and it's on speaker, and Gaby's sitting there and he's talking about how he like heard that I'd that I had done, he wasn't specific, but like I had done some shit, I was maybe aggressive with Natalie and that she would like gone off and done some shit or whatever else. And at the moment, like I didn't mind when he was saying shit about me, but he said something about Natalie. I'm with her for almost a decade.
Yeah, I
immediately snapped. I almost broke my desk in half. I slammed my hand into the fucking middle of the table, and it was the one my dad built, and it cracked the fucking table. And I said, if you fucking mention her name one more time, I will personally fly my ass over there, and I will fucking put you in the ground. And he never said anything again. And that was the end of the conversation. That was it. And I was like red hot, like if he was in the room situation,
it'd have been it.
Complete blackout, and I would have grabbed something I was super fucking pissed. And so that's like the only time I could ever think about being that angry. But that was so weird. Like he fucking like looked my life up and shit and started making some shit up. And I was like,
that's some weirdo move.
I was like, what kind of a weirdo ass fucking move is this? And then I was okay with him talking about me. But yeah, he said something about now, and it was still, it was 9 months deep. But Natalie and I split on good terms. So when he brought her up, I just, oh my god, I was so angry because she's like literally like I love Natalie to death. She's the sweetest individual on earth. She wouldn't hurt a fly. Like literally would not hurt a fly.
I haven't even heard her swear in my life.
No. Like, so like, oh my god, dude.
Even the octave, I don't think I've ever heard her like. She's just got this.
Never raised her voice.
She never raised her voice. It was just like boom.
The whole time.
She could have been like I've been around her like when I can tell like she's like
annoyed,
maybe like annoyed or overstimulated or whatever, like where it's just like, and she's still. I've seen her super happy and it's and that's it. I didn't even know she had a bone, like a bad bone in her body, or I don't know. I didn't live with her, but like I've been around her quite
literally
a bit, like I've known her for years. So like
zero.
I've seen her, yeah.
Zero. Nothing. And so like and like she was not part of my online life for a reason. She didn't want to be. And so the fact this guy went out of his way, dude, I was so fucking angry. Very, very quickly. And it kind of backfired because I think maybe he was thinking that like, whether it was going to be my reaction or if it was going to be him saying any of this stuff, that it would throw up a flag, with Gaby at the time, because I think he was kind of like interested in her. And but he got friend zoned very clearly, and so as he was trying to stir some shit up, and the irony was that her seeing that I was like so about somebody else, not about myself, but about somebody else, complete fucking backfire, bro.
Backfired on him.
Backfired real bad. It was down bad in 8K. Either way,
yeah, fuck that guy, whoever it is. Fuck that guy.
I don't even remember his name, bro. I don't even remember his name. I just remember that situation. I was so fucking angry. I was fucking dude. I thought I broke my hand on the table and shit. I was super pissed. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, what a way to end the podcast. But that's it for what we got this week. Mr. Black has got an arrangement in 10 minutes, and that's all we've got anyway. So
it is 20 after.
Yeah. So we will see you guys next week. Thank you very much for stopping by the podcast. Until we see you next week, stay safe out there, and peace.
Peace.